Everybody, sometimes you just got to get away, you know? All these problems with government and these people in Congress that make you so mad, and all the crimes that are being committed, sometimes you just got to get away. And that's what we're doing today down here in Venice, Florida. It's time to take a little break and escape from the monotony of government and the criminals in government. We all know who they are. We all know how they treat us. They tax us to death. They kill us with their guns. And they take our property through the code enforcement Nazis. So it's just time to get out. We're going to take a walk on the beach and just have a nice little stroll through paradise down here in Southwest Florida. We're going to find a place to park. Looks like there's plenty of parking spaces. So we're going to pull in here and we're going to take a nice little stroll over to the beach and talk to you folks. I know what it's like up in Chicago right now. I know what it's like up in New York. It's not very nice. It's very cold, very miserable. We're gonna park. We're gonna get out. We're gonna go sit by the beach. And you can join us. You can join us while we sit at the picnic table. And we're gonna talk about some issues that need to be talked about. So bear with us as we manipulate the camera and get out of this car. We're not professionals. We don't have the fancy editing equipment, fancy camera equipment. We just got basic iPhones. So join us. Come out. We're going to walk over here to the beach. There's a nice little picnic table sitting right by the water. Let's cross right here. Let's go in the woods. We can cross over to the beach through the woods, I think. Come on, join us. This is a real special place in Florida. It's very beautiful. We're going over the mangroves. This is a little walkway that takes you over the mangroves. I hope this will take us out to the beach. I'm pretty sure it will. Yeah. We're going to cut across right here, but we could continue that way. Who knows what's down there, but it's a very nice place. If you ever want to come and visit, email us at tyrannysolutions@protonmail.com and maybe we can meet up with you. Come on, we're going to go to the beach. All right, hurry up, cross the road. Here we are, folks. Absolutely beautiful day. Look at these skies. Look at this. Absolutely beautiful. All the way down south, down there is Fort Myers, Naples, Florida, Boca Grande. That's where the Bush compound is. The Bush crime family. They have a hideout on Boca Grande Island. Now that Daddy Bush has passed, I'm not sure how often they'll be visiting down there, but hopefully that crime family will be going to jail in the very near future for the crimes against humanity they committed. Come on, folks, let's go this way. And the shells here at Venice Beach are just phenomenal. There are so many shells here. And the shark's teeth. They have phenomenal shark's teeth. Look at this. Nice piece of driftwood. It's phenomenal. Let's go down to the picnic table so we can sit down and have a conversation. Look at this beautiful sunset. Look at this beautiful sunset. What is it, about 5 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time? 5:30. Some of the finest sunsets you'll ever see are right here in Sarasota County, Florida. There's a nice tree up ahead here. It's got a little picnic table. You can come there with us and we'll have a conversation. This is where the red tide also was extremely bad last year. We had historic amounts of red tide. They're finding out that red tide is being fed by the excessive amounts of fertilizer that corporations and golf courses and people's yards are using to make their grass green and grow. But what's happening over a period of a long time, the amounts of fertilizer and nitrogen are gathering and accumulating and causing the red tide to get worse. And it's at historic levels now. This past season, we experienced historic levels of red tide. Thousands and thousands of fish were killed. Here's our little picnic bench. So we'll keep the camera focused out in the Gulf of Mexico. Nice Australian pine tree. Look up there. This is a beautiful pine tree. It's an Australian pine. They're not native here, but they certainly provide very nice shade. So let's sit down at this picnic table and have a conversation. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time that you really start thinking about some things that perhaps you've never thought about. What you got to realize that we're living in times that are uncharted. We have never had a debt of $20 trillion. The experts say that the debt is actually over $100 trillion. If you have grandkids, if you have children, you need to realize that this debt that we are in now is unsustainable. And I know this is off topic for Cop Watch and government auditors, but it is kind of on topic about government, because it's government that has got us in this place we're in today. The banking system that we have today is a criminal cartel. It is a criminal organization just like the mafia. And in 1913, a select group of men came over to our country, many were from Europe, banking families, and created the Federal Reserve, which is not federal, and there are no reserves. This is not a conspiracy theory. This is not rumor. These are facts. These are facts that are substantiated with evidence. Much evidence can be found to support this. And I know many of you out there listening probably find this to be elementary. But if so, just please hold on and be patient, because there are many, many people in our country that don't have any clue how bad the situation is. And this message is for everybody. And I just ask those of you that know these things, just please be patient for a minute. But the fact is that we are in uncharted territory in our government, in our history. And there are going to be things that happen in the very near future in the economic system of the world. That's right, the world, not just America, but the world. The world has been infected by a sinister group of men that have used an ancient monetary principle to capture the governments of the earth, to hold them in hostage, if you would. And they have succeeded in every area of the world except just a few places. When the banking collapse happened back in 2008, there was only one country in the entire world that held the banksters accountable. That's right, they're banksters. They're just like gangsters, but they're corporate banksters. They wear a suit and tie, and they have a fancy car, and they have fancy shoes, and usually they got a Rolex watch. They're not like your typical gangster. These are banksters. But it was the country of Iceland and the brave and courageous people of Iceland that rose up and took their government back. That's right, people. They took their government back, and they held those banksters accountable. And I'm here to inform you that we too in America can do the same thing. But we must be organized. We must stop the infighting. We must create camaraderie. We can't be arguing about petty issues, about he said, she said, they said. We must get unified. There is no other way. This banking power cartel is more powerful than you can ever imagine. If you doubt what I'm saying, those of you that are newbies or young in this knowledge, just do a Google search, or better yet, DuckDuckGo. Go to a great search engine like Bing or DuckDuckGo, and just type in the words, who owns the banks? Who owns the media? And you will see very clearly a pattern develop. The same people that own the banks own the media. They also own Hollywood. And they also brought pornography to America that has destroyed the innocence of many young children, husbands and wives, and marriages too. This system of financial poison is exactly what it's meant when it was said in the Bible. And I know some of you might not read the Bible, but that's okay. Some of our founding fathers didn't either, but most of them did. Most of those old white guys that started this country read the Bible and they believed it. And there's a scripture in there where Jesus, little old baby Jesus, remember him? He's the guy we celebrate on December 25th, the little baby in a manger. Well, he said that the love of money is the root of all evil. All evil. The love of money is the root of all evil. That's right. And that's what Jesus said. And if you don't believe in him, that's okay. The principle is still true. The love of money is the root of all evil. That's why these politicians spend millions of dollars to get elected to an office that pays them hundreds of thousands. Why do they spend millions to make just a few $100,000 per year? That's because when they get elected, envelopes of cash show up mysteriously. Envelopes of cash with many, many thousands of dollars show up when they vote correctly, when they vote the way their master wants them to vote. We got the best government money can buy, folks. County, city, state, and federal level. They've all been infected with a money power. Thomas Jefferson said that a central banking system is more dangerous than a standing army. That's right. Thomas Jefferson said that a banking system that is centralized is more dangerous than a standing army. Folks, that's exactly what we have. We have a standing army. The soldiers wear suits and ties. And their weapon is money. They buy your public servants at the highest price to do what they want to be done. That's why we don't get a wall built. That's why we had a Congress for 2 years that refused to build a wall. We had a president that demanded it. That's right, Mr. Trump wanted it built. But you stinking Congress critters in Washington, D.C., the District of Criminals. It was you, McConnell, Ryan, leader of the House, McConnell, leader of the Senate. It was you, two leaders that refused to advocate we build the wall. Thousands and thousands of American families have been victims of violent crimes of these illegal aliens. Many of them are fine people that just want a better life. They're poor people wanting a better life. Poor people that are sick and tired of criminals and gang members and mafia ruling their lives. They just want a better place to live. But folks, our boat is full. We have a debt that is $50 trillion and counting. They want you to think it's only $20 trillion. But I'm here to tell you, it's very easy to show it's over $50 trillion. The interest alone on this debt is unsustainable. Do you not realize, people, that $50 trillion in debt, we are approaching a period of time when we're not even going to be able to pay the interest. And who do we pay the interest to? Have you ever thought about that? It's called the Federal Reserve. It's not federal, has nothing to do with the federal government. Alan Greenspan stated that on TV, and it's recorded on YouTube. There are numerous channels that have mirrored the statements of Alan Greenspan, stating that the Federal Reserve is not federal. And Mr. Paul, former Congressman Mr. Paul, Ron Paul, proved that Fort Knox doesn't have the gold. So, ladies and gentlemen, I'm here to conclude. I'm done shouting and running my mouth, but these facts need to be made known. I hope you share this video, and this is just a tip of the iceberg of what you're going to find out on this channel in the near future. I don't have a fancy introduction. I'm not clever like a lot of these great YouTube channels are. Some of these YouTube people are just phenomenal. Their skills are just fantastic, beyond unbelievable. I must say, some of these YouTube people are really skilled, and I just am so thankful that they're involved in straightening out our country, bringing our country back. I thank God every day for the YouTube cop watchers, the YouTube auditors. They are the cyber Minutemen of today. You know, years ago we had the Paul Reveres. We had all kinds of people that were watching over the government. They had the Committee of Correspondence. You know, Paul Revere, he rode on a horseback talking about how the British were coming. This was a committee set up in his local jurisdiction, but they were committees all over the colonies, and they had organized efforts to alert the citizenry that the British were coming. This is what the cop watch movement is of today. You cop watchers and government auditors are like the militiamen, the Paul Reveres, the Patrick Henrys of 1776. You're the modern day cyber militia that is warning the American people on YouTube, Twitter, Facebook. These are the peaceful weapons we need to use. We don't want violence. We don't want civil war, folks. We want to resolve and seek remedy in a peaceful way. And that's what these cop watchers and these YouTube channels are attempting to do. But what's happening? Take notice of what's happening. YouTube is censoring these channels from telling the truth. Twitter is censoring these people from telling the truth. Facebook, Mark Zuckerberg. You ever heard that name? He's part of that big cartel that owns the banks. They own the media. They own Hollywood. And they also own the pornography houses that polluted America's children and destroyed marriages. That's right, folks. Think about these things. Stay tuned. Please subscribe to this channel. Help us out. Get this little brand new channel, Tyranny Solutions. Get us on the map. We've grown to 440 subscribers in a mere short period of time, and we're thankful for that. And we want to thank especially, so they call it freedom, Mr. Ian of Charlotte County, Florida. We thank him. And Mr. Andrew Sheets of, I forget his channel.
Live Free or Die.
Live Free or Die, people. Mr. Andrew Sheets, Cop Watch of Charlotte County. But we are very grateful to all you cop watchers and government auditors on YouTube. You are making history. I'm 56 years old, folks. I've been at this since I was in college in the 1980s. I remember getting on the radio in the 1980s talking about the New World Order, and people thought I was nuts. That's right, folks. All I was talking about was the New World Order that was being assembled. And then it was 1991, George Bush, Daddy Bush, he announces it. He announced it on September 11th. I believe it was 1991 or 96. I forget which year, but anyways, a lot has happened since my days of college and my 20s. I'm now 56. And I'll tell you what, I'm more invigorated. I'm happier now than I've ever been to see what's happening with all you young people out there getting involved in exposing the corruption in our government. Federal, state, city, county. It's exciting, and I want to salute you. As a 56-year-old guy, I want to salute you. Keep it up, man. Take your videos to your city halls, to your county commission meetings. Give out your YouTube channel name so people can subscribe. Develop a network in your own local community. Well, I gotta shut up. I could go on and on and on, and I must shut up. It's time to walk down the beach and enjoy the day. We're gonna walk along the shore and see what kind of shark's tooth we can find. And the sunset's gonna be happening here pretty soon. But we just had to get away. It was time to get out of the office, get out of the courthouse, get away from the government, and just take a break and enjoy nature and nature's God, and enjoy great companionship and fellowship with like-minded, peace-loving people. And that's what we're going to do. So thank you again. God bless you. And subscribe to the channel, like it, share it, and click that alert button so you get immediate notification of all new videos. Our battery's dying, I'm being told. Okay, folks, that's all. Over and out. Perfect. How's it? Hey! Huh? Oh, thank you. Thank you.